time to put the power steering lines all into the car. Unfortunately, the kid who had the car before, when he parted it out, he cut all these metal hard lines to get the engine out. So I was lucky enough to find a set of these from a 10,000 mile GT that a guy had eliminated all of the power steering and power brakes so that he could do manual, all that for racing. And so I used the silver GT as a reference, and I looked at how the lines all went and made sure that I was putting them in the right spot. And I even had an extra reservoir and some other pieces that I wanted to use. And I had this all ready to go. I had unplugged all this so I could put the front clip on the car. So cleaned it all up and started running the lines. And the hardest one was the one that went down to the rack. And I had to hold it down and thread it in at the same time. And it was just a little bit difficult. So I had my wife hold a pole against the top of it. But these are all really nice hard lines, very beautiful. And they were all joined together like they should be from the factory. So it didn't take very much to see how they were supposed to go. And it looked really good. And my wife drove off in the GT. It's always fun to see that car drive around. So under here, these lines, the bottom one goes to the rack, and then the upper one goes to the upper hard line. So you have the brake booster and you have the power steering and everything. So enjoyed a nice donut. Really enjoy doing this, have the music playing, having beautiful days. I beat that bracket back into place, had it in the vise, and bent it all back into place for the ABS. Got all the harnesses out. I had a whole bunch of different engine harnesses for the car. I have the original one to the car. I had one that came off of the silver one from the wrecking yard that unfortunately I had to cut to get out. And then I had another one from an 03 GT, and I went through to decide which one was the best. And I even have parts of other harnesses that I can make the one I cut back good again, so that made me happy. But I basically got all the harnesses, and I got some simple green and a toothbrush, and I just cleaned all the wires. So I just wanted to make sure that the harnesses matched, because I did send the 03 harness up to the guy who had my Bullet at the time to trade out, and he said it didn't work with the transmission harness. And so anyway, it looks like this all lines up really nicely and everything's good. I did have to fix the alternator harness, and so that was good. Next, I did find that I had a manual transmission drive shaft. You can see the one on the right has that flange on it. That's for an automatic, and the splines are smaller. This is a manual transmission one, and so I was very happy that I had that in storage. So I decided to go ahead and clean it up and just take it out. And basically it didn't need a whole lot. I just wanted to put some WD-40 on it and a Scotch-Brite and clean up the inside. It had a lot of gunk from sitting in a shed for a long time, and just totally cleaned that up and cleaned all the splines up and just made that nice and shiny again and able to go in. So I was really happy about that, because I had heard that the drive shafts are the same but the yokes are different, and I had a hard time finding a manual transmission yoke. Maybe I just wasn't looking in the right spot. But anyway, I got that all taken care of. And that looks nice again, and it's ready to go on. I test fitted it, and it slid onto the back of the transmission just fine. Got it all cleaned out in there. Yeah, it still has a little gunk way down in there, but it's all right. It looks really good. Very happy with that. I just love enjoying my music and the cars and having fun on this project. So that's the update for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more Mustang content.